Flavored Kung Po chicken? No, I haven't. I've heard of it many a time, but I've never ingested. Yeah. I'll think about it though. What's it like? What kind of sauce? Or does it have sauce? What sell Kung Pao chicken to me as a food? What does it taste like? What's it got in it? What's it like? What's its texture like? It's juicy. Well, do you like a juicy chicken? I'm guessing the feathers removed, right? I don't eat chicken with feathers still on. That's one of my rules. Gotta be dead too. Oh, Kung Pao chicken, also transcribed Gong Bao or Kung Po, is a spicy, stir-fried Chinese dish made with cubes of chicken, peanuts, vegetables, and chili peppers. The classic dish in Sichuan cuisine originated in the Sichuan province of southwestern China and includes Sichuan peppercorns. Thanks, Google. Lol. Yeah, okay. I'm not a fan of peanuts, but maybe it sort of it goes well with the flavor. Maybe. I just don't like peanuts, really. I'm not allergic, I just don't like the taste. But, like, I'm pretty sure they use, like, peanut oil to do the Five Guys chips, right? And the Five Guys chips are fucking insane. They're so good. So good. Bakura is having a shit. Uses cashew nuts primarily. Alright. Not really a fan of any nuts. Okay. Well, maybe I don't mind the oil. I like almond flavored stuff, like Battenberg, like with marzipan. I suppose marzipan is the almond flavored bit. Marzipan's legit, and other almond stuff. Yeah, but not like the nuts themselves. They can suck a dick. Yeah. They can suck these nuts. Oh.
Fucking hell, man. Damn, he does like to talk, innit?
Right?
Hey, you're in.
Yeah. Are you use a mouse or keyboard? I mean, sorry, controller or keyboard?
I'm gonna use controller.
Alright, I'll join you on that one then. Yeah, I'm in.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna see how it goes. I don't think there's bazookas.
Oh,
You hate marzipan?
Go away, orange.
You like licorice, but you don't like marzipan. Like, who hurt your taste buds?
Who are you?
Alright, let's go. Good old Goodwin.
Thanks for hanging around, guys. Much
Yeah,
appreciated.
Appreciate it, yeah.
Hey,
And that's
How
all the
was your
time we have
day?
for today.
great. The toaster broke and Rose refused
Why
to
is
eat
there a
vegetables.
lag?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it a little
How'd it
leggy
go
for
at
you
the
too?
dentist?
The dentist.
Don't tell me you forgot about the dentist appointment.
Probably.
No,
yeah.
I didn't
Yeah, you should have
forget.
already,
I thought
yeah.
you were taking her tomorrow.
No, it was today.
It was
I'm
literally
working
today,
tomorrow.
man.
But it's Saturday.
It's
I
not
know,
even
I've got
Saturday.
to work
it's Friday.
overtime.
What, you have to do that every week?
Oh, Cody, I'm not in the mood for this discussion again.
Hey, Rose needs both of us, okay?
That's not fair. Using her.
I'm not using her. I'm just stating a fact. Why don't we just go ahead and tell her that we're divorcing?
Oh, just like that.
Well, I think
Yeah.
you just did, bruh.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Hey, this
Come on, man.
isn't it?
Right.
Let's
She
not
should just-
tell her. Let's stay
Oh,
friends
Jesus.
instead.
Yeah, let's just recede into our own mind and
Let's stay friends forever.
eventually get committed to
I
a
love you,
sanitarium.
Cody. I love you too, mate.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is already quite a dark game, hey? She's gone mental because of her parents' divorce. We're enabling her mentalness. Who do you want to be, buddy? You got the game, so.
Well, you know,
Alright. Is mine
I'll take the
control?
lady.
Is my control? Oh, there we go. Now I can do it. Alright. I'll take, but it's not even a human. It's just fucking potato or some shit, or wood. Might be a bit potato and a bit wood.
Potati, potati.
Okay, let's go for more trauma.
See how the child's sitting closer to me.
I mean, we're
She
not.
loves me more.
We're dolls, dude.
honey.
We're not these human people.
Can I just take Elephant a sec? All right.
Why are you taking an elephant? Why couldn't she keep a hold of elephant?
Rose,
prick.
All right.
You know we love you, right?
Oh shit.
Yeah?
And sometimes that means that
We
we
have
have
to
to
send you
do
the coal mine.
stuff that isn't always very fun.
What we're trying to say,
Oh
darling,
shit, do
is
you reckon we're
that,
going to a dentist?
well, Mum and Dad, we've
We don't love
decided
each other
to go
anymore.
our separate ways.
I reckon she's adopted anyway.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I go and play in my room?
She's lived with like 5 other families, but they all keep getting
Yeah,
divorced.
yeah, of course, sweet.
No one knows the correlation. There's missing people on that milk carton. Do you reckon they're keeping them in the
Actually,
basement?
that girl. It's actually that girl.
Oh shit. Yeah, they have just kidnapped her. Is that land before time?
Where?
Back on the poster now, it's already gone, sadly.
Oh.
I'll show up again soon. Oh, there's us. We don't have shoes. Oh,
She's gonna run away.
fucking hell. I mean, why would you put that there by the kid's bedroom window anyway? I mean, look, that's
You
a
dumbass.
terrible fucking attempt at growing vines.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not hard.
Oh,
No.
thought it was gonna go in the van. And hide.
She should learn to drive and just go find a new foster family. Also, exclamation mark multi.
Mind just about that lady.
Dr. Hakim, you have to help me now.
That's a book.
They have to stay
not a doctor.
together.
You threw it on the ground.
Look, it says here, love is work, see?
Yes.
You have to work on it.
Yes.
You can't just give up.
Oh,
Oh, well.
they're not people, you mentalist.
Mom, Dad, I wish you could be friends again.
Oh god. Dude, we need to get her help. I think that's what this game is, right?
Yeah.
We've got to go find a psychiatrist.
She's echoing to herself and everything.
Yeah, right. She's like 2 steps away from Senua's Hellblade.
Steps
She
beyond.
just needs dreads and inner voices. Uh-oh.
Why does Dean love Yoshi? Because Mario doesn't.
Oh,
Mario keeps throwing off the edges.
that's true. She's named them after her parents. That's fucked up. They don't even look like her parents. She's terrible at art. Her mum doesn't have blue hair. Her dad doesn't have leaves.
That's true.
Ah! Oh! 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 What is this? What is it? Oh, help! Hello! Help!
Cody, I'm trying to sleep. Shut up.
May?
Let her sleep, dude.
Hey, is
Don't be a
that
dick.
you?
Cody!
I hope we s- I
Why'd
hope
you
we're
look
still
like a
getting divorced
blob of
after this.
clay?
Why do you look like a wooden doll? Look.
I'm wood and you're clay.
Yeah, I'm a bit more worried about being clay.
Oh!
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah.
They're raining your fuck, man.
Yeah.
What
Plus, if
have
it gets
you
hot, I'm
done?
just gonna be froze to
What?
one
Why
position.
do you always blame me? Huh? Yes. Why do you always
all right.
blame me?
Hello.
Thank you. Oh! Oh!
What is that?
I'm
Oh, fucking hell,
Dr.
his arms bent
Hakim,
backwards.
Worldwide bestseller and an expert on love. Your daughter
No.
purchased me. She was lucky. I was the last copy because I was selling the best.
Where's he got purple
I've helped millions of
facial
couples,
features?
and now I will help you two to get together again.
This is definitely a nightmare. I need to wake up. Mom!
Smash it.
Oh!
Oh, you're dead.
Oh.
And now it's a one-player game.
Hey! Oh!
Oh.
Oh, you're back!
Wait
Oh
a
my
minute.
God.
Okay.
You can't wake up here.
Exactly. Okay, Mr.
Book.
Book.
Hakim.
So, how do you wake up? Cody, May, you're here to fix your relationship.
We
We're on a
just
divorce.
fixed it.
Yeah, we're divorcing.
Yeah, it's way more
It's all
profitable.
good. No! I will help you fix your relationship.
You must stay together.
One.
But they're
Fix
unhappy.
your relationship. Plus, I
try it.
promise your daughter to fix your marriage. See, love is like a mountain. You two are like a river. May,
Just
it's
lie.
Rose.
Be like, alright, we're not getting divorced. And then just get
Come on.
divorced when they're tall.
Let's get to her. She must know what's going on.
Butterflies floating in the mountains like lovebirds. You know what I'm saying?
No birds.
No, I'm saying.
Hello?
Clap games.
Alright, so I'm on the right screen.
Yes. Wow.
How do we get up to her?
Born? Wow, I
The
can.
stairs over
Wow.
Double
We
jump.
can't
Hello.
reach them.
Oh,
We're
that's a
tiny.
dash.
We got Mario
there. Let's
jumps,
find
bro.
a way.
Yeah, right.
Woo. Whoa, fucking hell, what's that?
That was that
Dodge
was
roll,
dash, yeah.
baby.
You can
Oh.
stealth. Does wide do anything?
No.
So, ooh. Oh, Jesus. Alright, press that analog stick in.
Wait, what the? Oh! Is that like a... Oh, that's a sprint. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, hello.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there's bounces.
Oh, the other stick clicking changes your camera.
Oh yeah, it focuses on your teammate.
Oh? Oh. Hey, let's ring a bell.
Hey, May, help me out here.
See, you both have back problems, yeah, right?
Oh, why is the graph?
Oh, hello.
Oh, whoa, May, they're alive. What is going on here?
So are we.
I have no clue. But whatever's going on, we can't lower that staircase without those fuses.
But those fuses? They just ran away. I mean, did
Yeah,
you
this
see
guy
them on
seems
their
to be
little
taking this a bit
fuse
harshly.
legs?
Like,
Worry about that later. Let's just bring them back.
Just get him back, buddy.
just do
You
it.
got this.
Just do it.
You just...
May,
Oh, I was looking at the wrong
hey,
fucking
my body
screen.
feels weird.
Because you're made of clay. Keep your eyes on the
Mum's made of clay.
fuses.
Hey,
It's up there.
don't you feel weird? I mean, I'm made of wood.
A bit stiff,
Same here.
but it's getting better the more I move.
I hope so.
Oh, Cody, will you please focus?
Oh, I was hoping I could jump on that nail.
Let's get those fuses.
You can grab edges. Get back here, you fuck.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Foiled again.
Oh, it's trapped. Let's get it out of there.
What was that?
Ground pound.
How do you do that?
Press up and then B.
Fella, huh?
Or jump and then B.
Alright, wall jumping. Huh, ha, hoo, yup. Woohoo.
Come here, you bitch. Come here, you bitch.
I don't like the sound of that.
Got him.
Me neither.
Get him.
Come here, son.
Ah.
We got this, we got this.
Cody, watch your head!
I
And everybody,
am.
exclamation mark multi, don't forget to be watching this in 4 screens.
Back.
Yeah, baby. Sprint. Oh. Oh.
Hey, let's do this together.
Okay, okay.
Jump and slide on some of this. Oh.
What the?
That was pretty well tight.
Oh. I was stuck to the other service. Uh-oh.
Oh shit!
Got a
that
stick,
makes sense.
baby. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, that killed you. That was a lot of screen, bro.
Oh, double jump dash.
You suck.
Some would say that I'm just finding new ways to test the game mechanics out. You know,
Yeah.
some may.
Ah.
Yeah, see, Cora was doing the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Just inventive. Like, didgeridoo.
Oh, oh,
Can
oh.
this kill me? No, but we can... Oh, 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 hello, no.
Cody, let's go! What are you waiting for?
I want to find
Come
a
on,
hidden...
you fuck.
I need to find the hidden tapes. I need to impress Tony Hawk.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Jack was choking by Tony Hawk. Oh!
Oh, my Gideon.
Ring.
It's usually
Wow.
bitch. It's mine now.
Hey, May, Did you see my flip? Let's do it
That's
again.
right.
Oh, we're not here to do flips.
Wait, what's
Oh, no,
this?
You're right. This is serious.
Oh yeah, pump some
We're
more.
hunting fuses with legs.
All right, this is the last one.
Get out of here.
Let's
There's
put
something
it
hiding in there.
Alright, let's go get the bitch. Oh yeah, I see him.
What is that?
Just ignore the glowing eye.
Get
None
him.
of this makes sense anyway.
Kill him.
Wait, if I... Hey. No.
You can continuously
I thought I was doing a hide.
forever. You'll get some luck, don't worry, chum, buddy.
Need to go to the old chum bucket.
Let's go.
I never win every single one for sure. God damn.
Mr. Burke.
Right?
What just happened?
Oh, those damn fuses. Oh,
May, there she is. Rose.
Rose, darling.
Hello. Not you again.
Oh, move out of the way, you stupid book.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Get
I need
him.
to go and talk to my daughter. Just your daughter? Oh, you talk like you own her. Ask yourself.
Well.
Can you really own the people you love? You just let us through. Come
Own
on.
people you barely
I
know.
will.
In some
But first,
places.
there's someone I want you to meet.
Oh, yeah.
Ta-da! Oh, what the
Fuck
hell
yeah.
is that?
Why do I recognize your voice?
Me? Oh, what? No, we've never met. Sorry.
Looks a bit like a vacuum cleaner.
Oh, yeah.
That no, it does not.
Because it is your vacuum cleaner. Yo,
Uh,
vacuum. ¿Qué
that's-
pasa?
that is not-
You know who this guy is?
That is not a
Let me
vacuum
tell
cleaner.
you. This is Cody. You know, the guy who suck up all kinds of crap in your stomach. Oh, no, that's
That's you! You ruined my bowels with all that crap!
crap. What? I was just sucking up dust. That was it. Just.
Chunder.
Get there.
Disgusting. Oh, look, there it is.
You call that just?
Well, I mean, you know, some of it, it's.
So that's why it broke down. It was your fault.
Oh,
And you
double
promised
divorce.
him you'd fix me!
thank you.
Instead, you put me away for life in here!
Yep.
Doesn't last for life until it's dead.
Ooh. Oh.
Wow,
Uh,
shit. That's dead.
It was kind of feeling kind of bad for the vacuum cleaner, but
Yeah, but maybe we'll put the vacuum cleaner as this. And we'll do Stream Raiders later, probably.
oh, that is a big vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, right?
You wanna get back to Rose?
Nah.
Yes.
She's doing
You
right
wanna
by
talk to
herself.
your daughter?
Yes.
Then you need to climb the vacuum together. Oh, come on.
Why are you doing this to us?
Because you two must learn collaboration.
That's not all.
Collaboration!
Aha! You know, collaboration is the key to a successful relationship. Huh? Collaboration. You understand? Now, I'll see you later. Hasta la vista. Good luck.
Bye, buddy.
Bye now, crazy book.
See you later, man.
What would have happened if you hadn't broken it?
It's true.
Well, this would never have happened if you had fixed it like you promised.
True.
Well, I didn't know we'd end up in a place where our vacuum cleaner's alive.
Well,
True.
now we are. Huh?
Don't know
Maybe
if
we're
that's true.
stuck here forever.
Maybe we should
Forever?
stop breaking
No
things.
way.
I think we're
We're
still
getting a
potentially in this
divorce.
girl's
I know we're
deluded
getting a
imagination right now.
divorce, but we can't do that unless we get back into our real bodies.
Okay. Let's climb that damn vacuum cleaner.
Shouldn't be too hard.
Let's go, buddy. Let's get some
I wonder where
antifreeze.
that annoying book
that's
even
it.
came from.
Hey, I found some
Said
ancient
Rose
ruins.
brought him.
Get him. Get the
doesn't
spider.
sound like a book she
Fuck
would
you,
buy.
spider.
Spider?
More like pretentious self-help
Spider.
books.
Ah, there's another one.
You know,
Murdered the cat.
Wait.
self-help
Oh,
books
spider?
are very important to some
That's a
people.
ball
okay?
cat. What the
Forget about the
Bobcat.
book. Let's get to Rose.
ball cat
Oh.
or something?
What's the light? Found the light. Oh, hang on, what's this?
Ants.
Box. Found a box. There's light bulbs in it. Whee! Oh. That's not Oh, hello.
Hang on. What's science?
There's a sucky thing over there. You failed at science so hard. I was just letting you catch up. I'm a good sport. More science? Oh!
No, 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 no!
Oh, son of a bitch, okay. No, don't do it! Dumb
Idiot.
Oh shit! I didn't even know what I was going to do.
You suck!
You suck!
Hey, jump inside the hose.
Oh.
Oh, try not to drop me.
There you go, bud.
Thank you.
You goddamn fuck up. Wait for you here.
I'm stealthing so you can't see.
Oh, where is he? Oh my god.
I'm here.
There he is! Ah! Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh! Ah! No. No.
Well, I'm not trying to do anything.
No.
Well, what's wrong? What's wrong, Cody?
Odie, get inside.
No, I've got my...
That's me aiming well. Oh shit! Oh, shame.
Wait, come back.
All right, the current has reversed.
Let's go! Good job.
Well,
What is that?
I'll find out. Oh, don't do it. Oh shit!
Oh, gotta aim for that one good.
Yeah. That's why I missed it. 2 times.
That was kind of fun, actually.
That's what Almighty
Not
said.
bad.
2 times.
After you.
Thanks.
Fun.
Yeah. Oh, that was for GLaDOS. Okay, can I have some help?
Huh. Oh, 1, 2, 3. What?
Are you playing with
Okay,
a
let's see.
PlayStation controller?
Yeah.
It's actually showing the PlayStation controls on your screen. The Xbox One as well. That's great. Make me feel a bit childish.
Yeah, I should have been.
Oh Jesus!
Oh,
No, Jesus!
there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. There's
Oh,
another one.
get
There's
it!
another
I can't
one.
get off
There's
this
another
one.
one. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go.
I got it! I got it just in time.
Too slow.
You're not a fan of the split screen? That's fair. It's cool when you're playing it, for sure. Oh, God.
Yeah, let's see where each other is.
That was totally
Nice
worth
one.
some electricity.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, I did the butt flick. Oh, shit. I mean,
I like the camera angles.
yeah. Yeah, the angles are great. Yeah, it's quite like cinematic game so far.
It's all pretty simple. I await you at the end. Look at my butt wiggle.
No, that's why I'm divorcing you. You've got a terrible butt, Bakura.
Man!
Not you, your
This looks
character.
dangerous.
Just time your jumps.
Yeah.
I timed my jump. She didn't say time them well.
Time them well. There you go. Oh,
Shame we can't hit each other. I feel like this should be part of the divorce.
did I just hear the Windows sound?
Not on my end. You might have heard it on your Windows PC.
Dum dum.
Oh. And you may get it. It's been a lot of fun so far, man. So I agree.
E.
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
All right, give it a whirl.
Okay, I'm
All
over.
right, give it a whirl.
Oh fuck, there's a jump thing.
Yeah, just jump once, but there you go. Although, wait, what are you doing? Go to the other side.
Hanging on here. For some reason it just killed me last time. I didn't necessarily try and do anything. Are you ready?
Ah,
Are you
then
ready
you
for
push
this?
the
Like,
button.
hanging off the edge of your seat. Need someone to play it with. Well, the poor owns this game.
Get some
I need
friends,
to do
almighty.
something.
Jesus.
Jesus, that's a
We made
friend
it
of
over.
mine.
We made it over.
Yeah, let's keep moving. We're
Fuck.
getting closer to the top.
I'm sorry, almighty. You were pretty savage to me earlier, so I had to put you in your place.
Didn't even have to. You didn't even have to. You said you
Ah,
wanted to.
okay, go.
Such a bitch. Whoa. Whoa. Nicely
Oh
done.
mate, you move quick into those. It's like you can just automatically get sucked up.
Try again. Alright, try again.
Oh, it's, you have to wait to get to the top?
Yeah, basically. Oh, hello. Oh, hello.
Rumbas!
Oh, yeah,
Why are they
Rumbas.
flying?
Why not? You know what would save this marriage easily? The Holy Whip. That is actually very true, yeah. Sure. Don't if
Look
your
at
friends
all
would play this.
junk.
I mean, maybe you could just threaten their families until they go. Let's have a coronet again, friends.
Yeah. But I hope your mum dies and she died.
Yeah, so.
Best.
Scared of sound.
And you.
Ah. Whoa. Oh shit, I turned the light on. It's not wasting electricity, that's one of the reasons I wanted to divorce you.
Oh, I turned it off to begin with.
Yeah, but then you turned it back on. Oh, that's what
Get
you
him!
do. Slut of shit. Ah! What the hell? What? I died! I died! Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you such a rude name.
Oh my god, did you see that?
I did, it probably
It moves out of the way if you try to butt stamp him.
Damn. Alright, well played, little buddy. Well played.
Motherfucker.
Nope. Heyo.
Dash.
Maybe.
So this one's a vacuum, right? So we're getting sucked around with these things
I mean-
and blown around.
I can understand why we're not using these, because like, honestly, it has too many hoses.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Oh, you need to flip that switch.
Alright.
Thank you. There you go.
Game over. Heyo.
Hey. Welcome back to the land of the living. Got him.
Definitely
Oh.
won't die.
Wait, what? Hang on. What? Okay, I'm going in. Oh, you gotta use that to jump in, okay.
Then you've got to run. Then you've got to run.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Hey, the hose! Hey!
It's opposites.
You actually had quite a good time on that one as well. Sending this one back
Wait.
to you.
Oh.
See you on the other
Okay.
side, brother.
Up. Oh! Almost missed that one.
That vacuum's out of reach. We need to get it down.
That's it. That's it.
Ah, time to suck up some more rubbish then.
Oh, okay. I suck it all up. All right.
Hey-o. You can't find anyone up over here? Yeah, sweet, nice. There you go. Fucking A.
Nice one, chum.
Yeah. I may well be down to play this again at some point in the future. Hello.
Looks like there could be different routes for different
You
characters. For the two.
destroyed my digestion! And you put me away to rot in here!
Kind of a dick.
Now you will both die!
See, that's a dick
No,
move.
wait.
That's what I thought.
I can still fix you.
Nice.
I can make you work again.
Double nice.
No more lies!
Don't take it, just kill him.
right. She's an engineer. A really good one. You are. You're very good.
Oh, so she was just really lazy and vindictive.
Are you really gonna believe that?
Yeah,
huh?
right.
Because I would not.
I'm starting to like this
Listen
book
to
quite a lot,
him.
you know.
Once I get my real
Yeah.
body back, I can fix you.
Oh, is that so?
And the vacuum does have a real good point.
Then why
Exactly.
did you buy the expensive Turbo X2000? huh?
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
You've replaced me with the Turbo X2!
Oh, damn.
Pretentious French vacuum
Get
who
him.
can't even suck properly!
Sucks a
I'll
second.
show you who's the best sucker!
Suck on, bruh.
Show me who's the best
I'm outta
sucker.
here. See you later.
Have a good one,
luck.
Dirk.
Come on.
Alright. I'll go for one hand, you go for the other hand, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Alright.
I don't want this.
Oh, what the?
This vacuum is insane.
Wait, what did you do?
Jumped off the edge of it, apparently.
You're back
I
again?
thought I could land on that. We have to pick these up?
Oh,
No, they kill us a bit. Oh, I see.
alright. Yeah. Oh, it's moving.
Oh, shit.
Jump! Damn, this is the actual boss fight.
Yeah, right.
How many of these does he have?
Alright, over here. Suck it up, baby! Oh, aim in the swingers.
Can't reach the others.
Okay, so we gotta make sure he aims the ball in front of us. Though.
Not so scary, small.
Ow.
Suck on this!
No. What I got top?
Oh,
Don't
shit.
waste them. Wait for me, Cody.
Crash someone to
You only throw 2 down?
I think we sucked them all up too. Oh! What a... Whoa!
Oh fuck, he's placing over here now. Oh no.
Yeah.
Also, people in both myself and the Twitch chats, if you ever are wanting to find people to play games with, always feel free to post me brothers see if I can send you something fancy.
Yep, we always got an LFG in now.
Right, let me know when you're ready.
Go, baby!
You're gonna regret coming here. No, stop! That burns!
Oh, nice!
Okay, so we've got kind of... Ow! What the?
Raining garbage!
Okay, you got a button mash when you die. Ow.
Why? What's in there?
Nice. Oh wait, maybe that one.
You got something. Nope.
Did you say I go on? You
You,
want me to go on
man.
top next time?
You can go on top next time.
The health of our marriage is, you know, reversing the roles.
Yeah, take them turns, you know. One's coming up. And go! Got him.
Hey, he stopped.
Yeah. Time to finish this.
You're putting those
Eat your own face, my man. Oh my god, are we going to suck his eyeballs out? Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh, me! You think this is
Oh
too
my
much?
good god, this is horrifying! Look, these things are pies! They are eating his own
Sorry,
eyeball.
Matthew.
Oh my good god. Oh, Jesus Christ. We definitely deserve divorce. This is horrifying.
Oh,
no two humans
Jesus
should do something like that
Christ.
together. No two humans should do that alone.
Oh, I just sucked out his eyes.
Jesus fuck.
Come on, we have to
was,
find Rose before she leaves.
I hope she knows
Eye-opening.
what's happened to us.
Well, she must know something. I mean, she made these dolls.
She made these?
Yeah,
Well, why did she make them look like us?
I don't know.
She's
Why didn't
mental.
you tell me about them?
Well, why would I? She's a kid. She plays with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, come on, let's find her.
But she doesn't even know her daughter's name.
Where are we?
It's Jacob.
Yeah,
You
man.
should know. You use this place.
I haven't been in here for ages. Plus, everything looks different.
Yeah, that's because we're tiny.
It's like some
True. A little more
twisted
rooms.
version of reality.
Boing, boing. Oh god, oh god. Boing, boing.
Hey, do you want to do this thing over here together?
Nah.
Good, I can do it
Hey,
myself.
over here.
Hey, we made it.
It's Rose. Rose, honey.
Holy shit.
Rose. She can't hear us.
I'm worried about the massive hole in the ground.
Oh no.
How are we gonna get over there now?
Jump.
I can
Dash.
help.
Double jump dash.
What was that?
Who was it?
I don't know.
Over here.
Look,
I know the way.
Hammer.
I'll take you there if you help me save my friends.
what friends?
My tool friends. We used to be important and taken care of, but that human locked us up in her toolbox and left.
What a
You mean
meanie.
May's toolbox.
Yes, yes! That heartless woman. Do you know her?
Well, yeah.
No, he doesn't. Anyway, I heard that heartless woman got a new job in town and doesn't have time for our hobbies anymore.
Who cares about hobbies? Do you know how painful it is to die from rust? It's like
Wow.
burning alive, slowly.
Wow.
Hammer, there's some
God damn.
rust remover spray in that tool cabinet. We can help save your friends, but only if you can get us to Rose over there.
Okay, it's a deal. Pick me up.
Okay?
Now, go to that big door over there. Pull that nail out. We're gonna need it.
Okay, here goes.
Whoa! Where'd it go?
Just whistle.
What? Really? Oh!
Wow.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
We got a flying nail and a talking hammer.
Got that Yondu shit.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Hey, look, that's all right.
Alright.
You got a nice belt.
Hey, and you've got
Be
you've got a
careful
hammer.
with that
on you.
nail, Cody. I don't want it in my eye.
Okay, well, don't drop that hammer on my toe.
Don't worry, I know
You
how to
slutbag.
handle tools.
Oh, yeah, well, me too.
So we can injure each other.
Use that
No,
hammer,
stop it.
You smashed
Stop
your own
it.
thumb.
Yeah, well, But I'm in charge of the nail now.
Okay, okay. Just be careful.
Guess I'll take it back. Yeah, boy, you say the fuck away, remember?
May, do I look like a nail to you? Quit it!
Don't make me throw you in place.
Fuck that pot. Fuck that glass. You know what? Fuck this glass.
Ah, don't make me pummel you, Cody.
Oh no! I should have seen that coming. What about you? 1-1. Oh, how'd you win? Oh shit!
Hey?
Oh shit! I made it. So I think you're meant to be over here, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it was going to be the other way around.
But no, I needed to hammer that, so... Oh,
Oh, do it again. I might have to like nail it in place or some shit.
wait, where am I? Oh, there you go.
Oh, I see,
yeah,
I see.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. What, I threw it? Wait, what? Okay.
Hey, maybe we can swing off that nail.
Get him.
Yeah. That nail over there?
What's that?
Steady now. Sweet moves. Like your style, man.
Oh, thanks, Hammer.
Huh?
There's another nail. Let's go get it.
Yoo-hoo! Still over here!
Oh.
Hello? The bridge, please!
Ooh, big head.
Get the nail! There you go, buddy.
Thanks. New nail received.
What is it?
Sweet.
Oh, I have 2 now.
I got, yeah, there you go. Goes up.
What was that one?
Goes even further up.
Three?
Okay.
Oh, hit the one. Shit.
There's a circle underneath you need to get. Oh, come back down here and do it.
That is makes sense. But you want to go for a smoke, but you don't want to miss any of this interesting fuck. Yeah, right.
Tell you what, I'm gonna go for a poop in a minute.
Okay.
And then I'll make her smoke as well.
Sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I forgot we were on those still.
I think I'm gonna be sick!
Why?
Fine.
Yeah, why? Like, be more constructive with your nausea. Oh,
Hey, where did your third nail go?
I've only ever had 2 so far.
There are no relationships without challenges. Challenges make you grow.
What is it with you? Can't you just leave us alone?
Well, when you're
shit.
willing to face a challenge, you always learn something new. So remember, when you hear this sound, follow it.
Oh.
Keep following it, and you will find the challenge you seek.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Welcome to your first couples challenge. Win or lose, you must do it together.
Let's win, I guess.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to. All right, you want to give it a
Sticks
try?
like
Got time for this.
whack-a-mole.
Oh, you afraid of losing?
Me? Huh, no way. Bring it on.
Oh, I'm gonna bring it.
Oh, wow,
It's
bring it.
already been bought. Thanks.
Oh,
Back to Cody. Score by staying up before the end here.
Head, Cody.
Oh, you won't beat me. I'm faster than a mole.
My hammer's faster than that.
okay.
You missed!
Slammed it.
This seems... this seems, very one-sided.
Bingo!
I don't know how it is to, like, to control your side.
Ah, you got me here.
Fuck you! Stand up! You son of a bitch! I'll kill you!
Nothing to it.
Up, up, bitch!
Alrighty!
May wins, what? How?
There! We were 2 against 1!
Oh no, actually, no, fuck it.
Wait, can I do this side? No, it's just... okay. You'll probably get the next one. No worries. Yeah.
Ah, the sweet sounds of machinery. There's nothing better.
Boing. Boing.
How about it? Where you go?
Huh? Thanks,
Hold
bro.
on tight.
Alright.
There's another machine in the way here, Cody.
Go easy on me.
Oh, you need to come through here. Okay. Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you keep that open? Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Oh, you got a key there. Okay.
Shoot, this is 100% where we go. What's a challenge over here?
What the heck is that thing?
Looks like there's a switch for hammer in the middle.
Oh, it's a hammer switch in the middle. We've got switch places. Oh, fucking
Hey,
hell.
Cody! Over here!
Shoot at the targets to score. Oh, okay.
Use your hammer on targets to score. Okay.
My nails are better than your hammer.
You wish.
Just you watch.
Yeah.
Nail!
There we go!
Fuck!
And another one. Come on.
Stop it!
Nailed it.
Cheated.
Nice. Son of a bitch. Hiya! I don't need your nail. Oh.
Kinda do.
Damn it though.
Oh. Oh, good crit.
Be careful now, May.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, okay.
Cody, don't...
Did you die already?
Cody, don't
Yeah.
screw this up.
Um.
Yeah.
Cody, don't screw this up.
Yeah, yeah. Just get to jumping. Nice one.
Yeah. Oh god.
No! Why did you bring that one back? I threw the other one first. Where are you?
Up top.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. That's why I did that. Okay, I get it. I thought it did it like based on which one you threw first, but
Ah, didn't it? What the fuck?
I threw him badly. That's my bad.
Hey, what the fuck?
What you were doing,
Why did it jump backwards?
No, why are you just going for it? These little games put you against each other a bit friendly competition. Yeah, exactly.
One more nail. Pull it out. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh, good fuck.
Really?
Hey, thanks.
There you go, buddy.
Got it. That makes 3. Gonna need a boost, man.
Now, no!
Just saw you dive over it.
Look at him fly.
First
No, and oh my god.
Oh,
Honey,
great.
ow, honey,
Another
no.
Oh, great. Another trust exercise.
What? You think I'm gonna miss?
I hope not.
Oh.
back to that one. I got you, I got you. Do it
Okay.
again, keep jumping. Yeah.
Go.
No, fuck. That was no one's real fault.
Oh no, the other long bit.
Oh, my bad.
No, that one.
hang on. Angle, baby! How you doing, my man? Alright.
Jerusalem.
We're gonna get this, man. We're gonna get this. Hang on, yeah, okay. Take your time.
Okay. That's the one.
I don't fail.
You know,
First time.
you two have pretty good teamwork.
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Oh god.
There's the toolbox.
Sure, I can
Both of you,
smash it.
come on, help me break it open. All right, mate, bring the
Game's a
hammer
bit
over.
loud. Oh. Thank you. That's because I'm still going by RP settings. Pause by the player. Oh, that's
Okay.
nice of you. How's that guild now?
Get up, hurry! It's getting away. We have to catch it.
I'll put mine down just a little bit actually.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Caused by other player.
Oh, that's me.
Alright, after this cinematic, I'm gonna go for a toilet.
Alright, nice.
Let's get that grimy tool.
Okay.
Excellent. Alright, guys, I'll be right back.
Nice. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do Stream Raiders battle quick. So, get on the phone, guys. Be right back.
BB.
I am back. I'm guessing Bakura is still shitting. Nice. So, Captain's Chest. Let's see. Iron and an Almighty win rewards. GG, guys. And we'll get another one set up just now. So yeah, we'll probably do this for a little bit longer. I don't know, maybe another hour or so. And then we will do a clip show. I don't know if we'll go quite as long as we have done in the past with the clip shows, but a lot of them will be retreading old grounds now, but it'll be interesting for sure. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Is it still flag bearers? Motherfuckers. Okay. Get your troops down, yo. Oh, I've got one to claim. Oh, yeah. Okay. I have 60 keys. How do I get 60 keys? I've never done any dungeons on this shit. Might as well use them. Dungeon chest. Thank you. Take a vampire chest, why not? Oh, actually, yeah, I might as well go for the vampire chest, because I never get shit to upgrade the vampires. Am I not allowed anymore? Is that my limit? Oh, shit. Like, for real? Am I only allowed to buy one at a time? What's going on here? I got 40. Let me in. Motherfucker. Can you play some plans? Yes, I can indeed. Let me get to it. So for you fuckers there, you fuckers there, you fuckers there, you fuckers there, you fuckers there. Don't anybody dare put one there. There. Yeah, fuckload there. Fuckload there. Put another fuckload. Oh, that's not quite a fuckload, but it's a good intention load. Share the load, Mr. Frodo. Oh shit, I killed some of their... Oh! It's alright, they were going to be weaker troops anyway. Oh shit, fucked that one up too. How do I save plans now? Oh cool. I see delete all plans, but that's to save all plans. You could just use the bottom one for all. That's true, but I wanted it to have some, context. But, okay, so that's just saved now, right? Hopefully. Okay. We'll see you in your next basement, I guess. I know it's a bit quiet, but I don't really want to put on any songs, just because I'll probably try and keep the VODs off this video. Just because it's quite a fun, unique game so far, But in the meantime, I'm just going to munch on some hummus and Doritos, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not bad, it's not bad.
Heyo!
Bit of hummus, a bit of, what'd you say? Dorito.
Doritos.
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 You need some pita bread, lad.
Well, I got red pepper hummus, cool original Doritos.
That's good.
Cup of tea. Splash of the Coca-Cola.
Oh, I got some nice ice cold water.
Oh, nice, nice. Nice ice?
And, yeah, nice ice, yeah.
Nice.
Make myself a smoking a pancake.
What kind of pancake?
Vanilla protein.
Alright. Jesus.
Huh?
Jesus. What do you prefer? Like American pancakes or like French pancakes? Like crepes or the fatties?
I don't like crepes.
Oh, really?
But I don't like them too fat either.
Oh, really?
Somewhere in the mid.
What about those little Scotch ones?
No, they could be fat, but like small.
Like the little Scotch
Or
ones?
they could be bigger but thinner.
Like crepes?
But yeah, Scotch pancakes are great.
Right. What about crumpets?
No.
What about scones or scones, however you want to pronounce it?
Depends on the day.
Tuesday.
Depends what day that happens to be.
Tuesday. It's always on a Tuesday.
Yep. Doesn't matter what the day is called.
Sure it does. That's why it has. That's
Just
why it
matters
has a
on
name.
the day of how I'm feeling.
What day do you feel?
None.
What about stroopwafel? Well, if there's anybody in the world that doesn't like stroopwafels, I don't know if I want to meet them. You know. Sounds like a dangerous
You
thing
gotta
to
pay
be
your
promoting.
finance, bruv.
Gotta pay your finance?
Yeah, chum.
For what?
Chum's asking.
Fam? Oh, Chum!
Chum.
Sorry, Chum, I didn't see... God damn it. You got a similar colour
Yeah,
to my
Chum.
bot, and I didn't see your question there. My bad. When you get a car on finance on Avalanche, do the payments go... I think they will be, but you can pay through your phone as well. And I think as long as you make some sort of payment on it, it won't like then get like taken off you kind of thing. So even if you just do like... I don't know if this will 100% work, but even if you just do like $1, that might be enough to like stop it from being impounded. But I think they're going to start taking it daily, or they might have even implemented that now. I'm sure I saw it in the server somewhere that they were going to do that, or are doing that.
Who knows?
The developers. I'm sorry, how did you just sneeze? What just... Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. Jesus. Yeah.
The first one didn't come out properly, and then came out properly, and then like the second one was just yeah.
And where do you make the payment? Well,
Mobile.
yeah. I don't know if it's like that sort of stuff. It does that. Can you tell people out of character that stuff? I guess it's not explained when you take the finance out on the car.
Oh no, in RP.
Yeah.
I don't.
See, you did
I
that
don't
voice.
see-
You did that voice sarcastically, but that's pretty much the voice
Yeah.
you made when you sneezed realistically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that was a voice that I used to speak. The other was a voice that I made to make a noise. So.
Ah. I found when I speak, I quite often make a noise.
Yeah.
Mm.
You often speak after make a noise.
I often speak whilst making noise.
Would you rather lose your sight
Yeah.
or your memories?
Which memories?
All of them, I guess.
Oh.
This is a Akane asking.
But then would I forget if I could see? There's no point having eyes if I
Probably
can't
could.
remember that I can use them. What if I forget to open my eyelids? You'd forget what to do if you blink. Oh my god.
Simultaneous skin up. What?
What's that about skinning up?
Iron said simultaneous skin up.
Oh, I finished mine already. Jesus.
No, I'm finished.
I'm finished.
I'm finished.
And it's anniversary, baby. We're doing this like divorcees. Divorcees drink together, and friend divorcees smoke together.
They're gonna drink in the game, and we're gonna smoke outside.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't feel like saying that you pay your finance off during in the mobile.
Fair.
Metagaming, power gaming, whatever you want to call it.
I want to call it Suka Gamer.
Super?
Suka.
Suka.
Suka Gaming. And it has to be said in that
Suka.
that language, that sort of accent, or it's racist.
Did you know that you're quite busu?
Quite busul.
Busu.
Busul.
Busuyaro.
Busul.
Busu.
If you finish rolling, do you want to... Yeah, sweet.
I was trying, I was pushing buttons.
Oh, hello, fucking hell. Jesus. Right, let's figure this one out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think it's just gonna throw shit at us.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see there was a path.
You'll never get away with this, you stupid toolbox!
Ah.
Oh shit, hello.
Oh, fuck. Uh-oh. Ow.
Hit it. Hit it, goddammit! Ow!
No. Wait, is there nothing for you to hold it up with? Oh god.
Not I can tell. I'm gonna keep running forward and hope that I can get you some help. Oh Jesus.
Don't. Yeah, okay. You can take back your nail.
Oh, you go for it. Nice.
Yeah, I'm here. Wait for
No,
it!
no!
Ooh, oh. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, and then I'll go over to that one. Brutal.
It really is. Quickly, quickly!
Boom. Boom. Ah! Oh, you stabbed me that time.
Oh, that was my bad then.
Oh, what? You gotta nail it.
Thank you, not Cody.
Under
May.
half health.
Oh, just whistle? Oh.
Oh.
Oh, he stands now. That's fake. Oh. Oh.
Oh, I'm gonna have to climb that arm.
Why not? Ow. You could have said watch out or something,
Yeah.
you know?
Got him.
Good. Now get me to the other side.
Wait, what? Oh.
Nice. Good gettings. Oh, watch out, he's
Uh-oh.
gonna spade you. Oh, hello, you're over here again now.
It's your turn now, baby.
Oh, we're gonna suck his eyes out too. Oh, okay.
Toolbox crazy!
Yeah. Next time I'm buying a smaller one.
Oh, it turns out I fell.
Uh-oh. Oh no! Jump! Jump!
Hey, have you seen what's happening?
Yeah.
It's like blades and stuff.
It's like Fall Guys.
Oh, I got hit. It's like
Oh,
cool
wow, I
guys.
just ran into it. Incoming. Oh.
Get him. Now they have only one arm. Oh, guys.
Oh, look at those.
Oh. Oh. Alright. Alright. Oh, you haven't got a hammer now, though. Oh, maybe you're chasing it. Oh. Reunited, and it feels so good. Oh, I'm gonna set
Okay,
that on fire and kill this motherfucker in the brain.
Do it.
Oh, wait, he might kill us first. Just let him give it a shot.
Did he just pull us closer?
Maybe. Oh, I fell through a hole. I don't know if you saw. Don't die.
There's a hole there, yeah. What? Oh man, I gotta hammer that while it's spinning.
Yeah, it's not too
Oh
hard.
no. Okay.
We're long past the go.
Come on, man.
Oh wow, try to insta-kill you. Spawn camp.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh.
Do
That
that
was
again.
so close.
Yeah, right. Oh, there's a bit of a buzzsaw too now.
Oh. Oh god, it took a corner off. Oh god, it's taking more off.
Stop losing your health, dude. Oh, the floor. You're talking about the floor. Oh, there's another one.
Ah.
You should do something.
Wait.
Oh god,
Trying to
no!
make
Oh
up-
god, it is like Fall Guys. Get it, buddy. Get it, buddy. Get it, buddy. Get it, buddy. Ah, no! Do not punch this container even after complete use.
Victoria! Wait, hang on.
no.
PTW and Mocha, are you here?
Yeah, good question.
There's something very important I need to do while PTW, Mocha, and Victoria are all here.
It's true.
Speed up when you fucking sprint, piece of shit. I guess we'll have to clip it for them. How you doing today, Victoria, ya bitch?
Aw.
Come on. Oh, fuck. Keep getting nailed. But I'm
Yeah,
alright.
they hurt you. Don't let them hit you.
Yeah. This game's been fun so far.
Yeah, it really
and I'm
has.
playing Fizzle.
Yeah. And I'm playing for Cora.
Flip it, Akane. Send it over to Mocha and PTW for me. Woo!
Right, go do your thing. At least so we can die separately.
For some reason, I didn't think Fizzle was English. Fair.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think there's glass on there.
yeah, I can't get it through the third one.
Oh god. I was gonna go with that. Just assumed another American.
Oh.
No, Fizzle is actually Enzemo's brother.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
England, born and raised. In my house. That's where
He
I
is
spend most of
streaming,
my
yep.
days.
If you type !team, you'll be able to see. Ah!
Let's
Spoiled
go.
bus. Yeah, Fizzle McCoy
Okay.
is Enzemo's brother.
Hello. Yeah.
I can't remember what else we discussed with PTW and Mocha, but I was supposed to call you a bitch because they didn't believe I would.
Oh. Oh, that's why you were so rude to Victoria. Okay.
Yeah.
So ready for this?
Oh.
It tickles.
Oh.
It tickles.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Woohoo! I feel brand new. Look at me. I'm home.
Aw.
I'm whole. You saved us from
I thought it was your
that
way of
rusty
flattering.
toolbox.
No.
Thank you, May.
Also,
You
he has eyes, but
are
the other
a
tools
true
don't.
hero.
Oh, thank you, Hammer.
Hey,
My way of
what about
flattery
me?
is saying,
Huh?
hey,
I was part of this too. Where's my
Great
hero
ass.
love? Did you see that
Thanks.
explosion?
Anyway, we still have to get to Rose.
Oh, of course.
great
of
play
course.
ass you got there.
Sebastian,
It's true.
can you help him out? They have to get to the other side.
Does he have
Sebastian
eyes?
saw.
Oh.
Flexible.
Step on board.
Okay.
Come on, it's safe.
The hammer is called Hammer?
This doesn't feel safe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He's gonna hammer it.
Oh, really? You reckon?
Don't worry, he's very precise.
But the sword is called Sebastian. Yeah,
Oh, he's
'cause,
gonna sling.
Sebastian is French for sword. Hey, Victoria, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it.
Is it?
It is.
Oh no! She's leaving!
Rose, wait!
Just bite her ankle. Ow! Hot rock.
It's us! Mum and Dad! Don't close the
Lovely job, you're bored.
God damn it, book!
The book's just doing what it feels is best.
Oh, you stupid book!
Paul, you've locked us in, you idiots!
Now we're
The book
stuck
is
in
called
here.
Dr. Hakim.
Stuckness.
It's just
It's
a book.
mental construct. If you
It's got
stare
Dr.
at
Hakim.
closed
Dr.
door, you
Hakim's
will
his dad.
miss the one that's open.
Okay, FYI, there is only one door in this shed.
And one window.
Good thinking.
How you doing today, Victoria?
Hey, how you been?
Let's go to the window.
Those arms freak me out.
Is out of his mind, okay?
Like, if they weren't flapped backwards, then his hands would be inverted. Whee!
This is great, yeah. Oh, we just skid. Dash! Dash! Jump! Dash! R1.
Check out my moves. Mary. I'm pretty good at this.
Me too. Woohoo!
Oh wait, what?
Game definitely
Turn
has a
around.
lot of fairy shit in it for sure.
Oh.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Did you not hear me say oh shit? That was my precautionary tale.
I did, but as I said it as I jumped. Yeah, I heard it as I jumped into it.
Oh!
Wait,
got you,
why am
buddy.
I? Can you fall off when you go sideways? Ah!
Oh, I don't have my nails anymore. You don't have your hammer anymore. That's...
No,
Oh, I suppose
'cause
because
we have-
yeah. That makes sense.
You just been working and chilling. How many years is our stream anniversary? Well, Fizzle says
4.
4, which I'm inclined to believe.
Me too.
We need to time this together.
All
Oh,
right.
okay.
I just said chainsaw in French then. Lil Sebastian.
Little Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much started streaming around the same time.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah, because
ready?
I started like 2 days before me.
Wait,
Go!
hang on. Fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! I was trying to gauge how long or short this one was. This one's much shorter, I think.
Yeah, at the same time we'll be fine, I reckon. 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
go.
Nah, yes, I can't even get on. That's good timing, though. That's good timing.
It's been 4 years, Gil. Yeah, man. We're all that much older. Or younger. You missed your spot. Now they're gonna die.
Clearly, I'm on the left.
No, I'm on the left. Yeah.
Oh.
Here it comes.
Shit.
Oh.
Tarzan, eat
Who
your
needs
heart
Tony
out,
Hawk?
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it reminds me of the old Tarzan game.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Wait. Oh, I got push R1. I can't jump.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, right? Oh, here we go.
So yeah, we basically started streaming around the same week.
Man, look,
Basically.
these are all binoculars.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think
That's
Bakura,
my brains.
Bakura set his stream up while streaming on a Saturday or something like
Yeah,
that, or a Friday, and
yeah,
I
we
started
need to
streaming
find
like on the
her.
Sunday or
Yes,
something
I
like
know
that
we
around
look
that
like
time.
dolls, but we're actually her parents.
But I was at his like place for his first stream as well.
Nothing escapes my lenses.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And then how was happening to say up?
In here?
Oh, all these memories, man. Why we get divorced?
Are you friends in real life? Nah, we actually hate each other.
But the court says we have to do like stay near each other. It's like, you know, what's it?
Restraining order.
Yeah, restraining order. Yeah, we got an anti-restraining order, so we have to stay close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Since
Our parents set it up, you know.
Yeah, they never met.
And then,
All I know
obviously,
is that
Fizzle's mum went and died, so now we can't get out of it.
And then you
One of
two
those sod
came
laws, you know.
alive.
And pineapple
Like
Jaffa
that?
cakes sound like
You didn't see
horrifying
anything else.
creations
Well,
are
there
made. That's
was
yeah.
one unusual thing.
We should just burn
Why?
them,
What happened?
melt
She
them.
was crying.
Pineapple Jaffa cake.
I know, quite unusual.
Does
for
sound
wolves,
vile.
But I am 100% sure.
They should
because
only
I could
make
see
normal
her
Jaffa cakes,
tears
just-
falling onto the dolls.
Anything else is just odd.
Hang on. Hang on.
They're
I
kind
need
of good
to
though.
close the room.
Oh, I'm just not a fan of pineapple for stuff. And what are you doing, sorry, Bakara?
Closing stream readers.
You're doing the stream readers. Okay.
Closing.
Oh, okay. Nothing
It's
should be
eating
pineapple
resources,
flavored.
that does.
I kind of agree with Gil. Hang on, I've just got to check my camera. For some reason, it's going really laggy.
Swingers are pineapple flavored.
Swingers?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like sexers?
Yeah.
Oh.
Apparently, an upside down pineapple is a symbol for swingers.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying about that.
Yeah.
Explain your
Yeah,
t-shirts. Okay.
Dolls. Oh, wait a minute.
Where's my
I
tea
know
towel?
what happened.
Where's your
It's a
tea towel?
spell.
Probably in the kitchen.
Ridiculous, Cody. We've got to apply logic.
Of course
Nay,
it's a spell.
Okay, we
What's
are
up?
having a conversation with a pair of binoculars. There is no logic in that.
Yeah.
I don't even believe in spells.
Okay, well, did you believe that you could be turned into a wooden doll?
Clearly
Huh?
she did.
My beard is looking long.
Exactly.
Thank you.
It had
It's,
to
I
be
got it in
the
free things at the
tears.
moment.
Oh, you still got your braids in?
It's a spell, I am telling you.
I've got them tied up, but not the actual things in.
Is
Right,
a
okay,
spell.
nice.
How do we break it?
Okay, I got this. Yeah, me and
Killed
Rose,
witch.
we read all about this spell stuff. I'm a virtual wizard right now, okay? Just
Oh.
give me some space, I need to think.
Virtual wizard. Not an actual wizard.
No, just
Okay,
a digital
So,
one.
if the spell was
Yeah.
cast through her tears,
Right.
and in order to break it,
You just need
Yeah.
to make her cry again.
oh.
Laughter.
In order to break it, we have to reverse it through her tears. Boom!
Oh,
back
we're
in
gonna
her
collect
eyeballs.
tear and then we're gonna push it back into her duct.
Basically,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah,
to
makes
find
sense.
her and make her cry on us again.
Really?
Just tell her she's adopted. Say we're still
Okay.
actually not getting divorced, but we are getting rid of her.
Fine.
We thought that'd be the better option.
Do you
Because
know
it was
what-
mainly because of her.
Hang on. Hang on.
What's wrong? We're just gonna shove
She
tears.
just totally agreed with that.
Yeah.
She's just like, "Oh, okay, fair enough. We'll just make her cry again. Why
Sorry,
not?"
are you an iologist? Do you know if you can do that or not? No, you don't, do you?
I mean,
Find her, Miss Binoculars.
I've shoved people's tears back in their eye ducts so many times.
She's in her
oh, okay.
room.
As long as you've done it before.
That's why I've got the like safety pin on my back.
Okay, thanks. Come on.
An iologist, yeah, that's the technical term.
Oh, but how do we get to
That
the
might be
room
the,
from
that might be the
here?
Latin
We just
term, so
climb
that's
the
why it might
tree.
not show up on Google straight away. 'Cause Google is not Latin, it's American.
Oh,
This way.
yeah. Dumbasses, eh?
Right.
Fucking idiots.
What? You're never gonna make that jump.
You're gonna fill her
Watch me.
lacrimal sacs.
Ah!
See, Gil's obviously not an iologist. He doesn't know they're called tear ducts. What a dumbass.
Damn it! Coming through the birds! Whoa! Come
Also,
on
Victoria, if you look in Discord, you'll see the picture from the other day where I did a makeup stream.
Oh yeah,
You can
yeah,
see
yeah.
the beard with the beads and all that.
It was really well done.
Too far.
Looks good, by the way. Yeah, you did a.
Just
What
throw us
did
the
you
rope.
base your eye patterns
Okay,
on?
okay, man, relax. Come on.
I just made it up.
You want
Nice,
the rope?
that was
You
good.
want the rope? Come on, you want it? You want it? Come on, come
Next
on.
time, you should just put a mirror on half your face. So then you only have to paint half your face.
That's good, yeah. What did you just give us?
A whip, or something maybe.
All right, let's swing across.
All right, see ya. Oh, fucking hell! All right.
That tree is huge.
Don't worry about it. The rope will
Wow,
take us to
okay.
Rose in an instant.
But yeah, you did miss that stream. I have unpublished the VOD, but there is a link in Discord if you want to watch it. Because of the music I use.
Here it went.
Oh!
Oh my god, we can murder.
We can squash.
How do we? Oh, you got to jump for that? That's terrifying.
Ah, I told Rose not to throw her shoes up.
Platforming, bruh. Come on. You got
I
this.
told her I did that when I was a kid.
So you're the guilty one.
She's outgrown them anyway.
Oh shit, you found a. Oh shit! Oh
Here we go.
shit!
Wait, what did that do?
Did you not? Did you
Hang
not
on, I'm
just
watching
use
where
it?
this plane goes.
Oh, you threw it? I thought you were
threw
flying on
I
it.
threw the paper plane, yeah. I don't know where it's gone. It's just gone.
Nice. I'm sure we'll find
Yo,
it.
Enzo. No!
Hey, there's our swing.
Just finished your
Finally,
Vargo's
a use
Mexican
for that
arc on
thing.
RP. It was a lot of
Let's get
fun. Hey,
across.
dude, well done.
Oh, nice.
Did you
Oh,
build a treehouse?
shit.
No. Why
Where
do
the
you ask?
fuck am I, by
There
the
are
way?
windows.
Oh. Who could have built those?
Guess what?
Wait, I didn't see window. What? Oh, that was tight.
Yeah,
Hey, look, another one.
yeah. Get him.
I
Get
can
him.
only stand here. Oh.
Get him. Oh, get in the
There's a
window.
window
Yeah,
open
yeah,
there.
get in the window.
But I can't. I don't have like a.
Yeah, get in the
I
window.
don't have a vertical.
That's fine, just right in
but-
the window. You
okay.
get it. Perfect aim.
Ah.
Oh, you suck, dude. That was the
Wind
worst.
took it.
That's terrible. How do you not
Wind took
adjust for
it.
wind? You can see leaves blowing all over the shop.
Wind.
You
Took
need
it.
to go to paper plane school.
I don't see a way to get to Rose's room yet.
Let's get higher.
We need to. Oh, hello.
Be right back. No worries. Your throat's killing me though. It was so hard to do the voice for so long. Oh.
Are you
Oh.
doing like a proper like Hogwarts voice?
I'm a superhero with a rope.
You're a clay man with a rope.
Yeah, beware the Clayman.
Is that our public?
What's What's it doing up here?
Looks like a pulley controls it.
Ah,
Still got it.
get it.
Cody, grab on.
Oh, I thought that was going right in.
I was gonna fucking screw.
It was like a good angle at first. Still going. Oh shit.
I'm glad you had fun, buddy.
Almost clean as fuck almighty. Oh yeah, damn. Oh, Stream Rangers is ready. We'll check it in a wee bit.
Oh, that last 6.
Hey, look, Cody, a door.
A door in a tree? I don't
Plastic
like
what?
it. We gotta get to Rose's room.
But can't you see how far away it is?
Yes, I can see how far away it is. That's why we gotta keep moving.
Yeah, maybe there's someone inside who can help us.
Really?
You got some giant hands, bro.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait, what are you doing? We don't know what's
Yeah, it would
inside
have better to
there.
make more
Come
clear with.
on, it might be a shortcut to the house.
Would be if you
What
didn't
if
earn
it's
points
not?
by
What if
watching. That's true.
Who sent you?
Oh hello.
No what? We come in peace.
We're trying to get to the house.
The house. What's your business there?
We haven't got time for this. Is this a shortcut or not?
Get him. That's why you don't be mean to
Wait, where did that come from? Where did that come from? There's a pot lid above us.
The tree.
Oh, I told you this was
The tree
a bad idea.
provides.
Not helpful. Come on, help me push. It's too heavy.
Why the glass jar?
Make it less
You
heavy.
can see through it.
Oh, that's great, May. We're imprisoned, but the view is amazing.
Wonder what Rose is up to.
I was gonna say, is she not like Mum, Dad? Where the fuck are you? I'm hungry. I'm dying.
Dad, I have to tell you something.
I have
It's
mental
important.
issues.
Have you heard of this book by Dr. Hakim? He says that it's important to forgive each other. Because then you can become friends again.
Maybe she should just go to her friend's house
If you want, you can borrow the
forever.
book.
I feel kind of sad that she's now missing out on her parents because they're
She
now
doesn't even
toys.
get. She doesn't even get the adventure, yeah, either. Like,
She's gone out and she's done her toy business, and now she's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself. And she goes to do it herself, and she just gets ignored
yeah,
because
that's
she did her
it.
toy business.
As far as she's aware, that her dad just straight blanked her. Was clearly awake and was like,
Cody,
"I am
you
not
okay?
responding to you, little shit."
Yeah.
These parents are horrible. How could you go off and turn into dolls when your daughter clearly needs dinner?
Are you working for the Wasps?
See the wasps in this game.
Wasps? Don't play dumb. Did they send you here to kill us?
What? Kill you? No.
We're not working for any wasps.
We'll see whose side you're on.
Oh shit, we're gonna get
Pull the
tortured.
switch.
Oh shit.
That's it, Chief. Oh, get away, get away, get away!
Why do they have wasps?
What the?
This seems incredibly mean. They're playing Flight of the Bumblebee.
Boss, it doesn't look like they're on the Wasp's team.
And why
Uh.
don't they die?
Maybe they have superpowers. What if they can help us?
Their way to test us was just straight murder.
Find out.
They didn't expect us to come back.
Yeah. No. So release the wasps, kill them, as we're done.
Yeah.
Just about
That was terrible.
horrendous.
May,
Fizzle's new employees set the taco van up at Legion Square, and eventually a load of us went to a taco shop. There was like 10 people at the taco shop.
So,
Hell yeah, nice.
Yes.
we can get you there.
really? That's very kind.
On what
Was it Pedro
Yeah.
or Ezekiel? Okay, nice.
What do you mean?
I think I still need to set Ezekiel up with the menu.
May,
Come on.
this is a terrible idea.
Come on, Cody.
I don't.
We're getting inducted into Squirrel Army.
Yeah, right. I'm down for this.
The most dangerous army in the world.
Basically, be on the orcas. Orcas and squirrels.
Tried to take him
rarely meet.
hostage, but things went south. And he got shot.
Hey, May, that's
No,
our remote
why would you take him
control.
hostage? He's a hard worker.
Sneaky rodents.
Poor little bugger.
Look, our family photos. What could they want with those?
I don't know. Oh, you look good.
It's a shrine.
That's my underwear.
Hardly a loss.
You used to love that underwear.
Used to.
It's a tree.
Oh.
Oh my god, they're wasps. Enemy alert.
That alert took a little while to actually start.
Yeah,
alerting
they
people.
probably didn't need the animation before the words that there's a wasp alert.
You two must kill them.
What? That's murder.
What? We can't kill those
Actually, I hate wasps.
crazy
Yeah, let's fuck them.
creatures. You nuts? No.
Up.
Don't worry, you'll just survive 2 of them.
Against a whole swarm of them, surely we'll die.
That's why you're going to need these. My latest in cyber hazelnut technology.
Cyber hazelnut.
Cyber hazelnut, baby.
Oh, bloody hell, okay.
Good
Thanks.
machines.
With a drill buzzer
Oh, drill buzzers.
Mm.
Oh, hello. Okay.
There's one more.
I'll take this one.
We sent an undercover agent who could operate our queen robot.
As planned, the wasps believed the robot was their real queen.
Nice.
But instead of wiping out the wasps, our agent was seduced by its power
Nice.
and switched sides.
Keep it interesting.
Kill the wasps.
Oh, this
The
guy,
agent
this
and
one squirrel's got
robot
one eye
will
that's blinded.
Get to the house. Understood.
Yeah, sure, but isn't there a more civilized way that we can... Whoa!
See ya.
I don't
I think we're about to play the
uh,
game now.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna goo
You
everything.
just got armed to the
I
teeth.
really don't want to have to kill
be armed.
giant...
You got a little
Student teeth.
squirt
You
ball.
wouldn't
Oh,
have
yeah.
to if you'd cleaned out the
Little
hive.
hand sanitizer.
What?
That must be real,
What
Teeny.
hive?
Who even makes
Remember?
those?
In the real world? In our tree? I asked you so many times and you promised to get rid of it.
Yeah, fine. We wouldn't even be here if you hadn't knocked on the squirrel's door.
Well, at least they're gonna lead us to the house.
What are
To
you
break
kidding
in.
me? You believe that?
These
I
two
don't
should stop
trust those
arguing and just get
squirrels.
divorced
They
already.
stole my underwear.
Oh, believe me, that was a blessing.
Oh, really? Well, at least
Oh,
my
here we go.
underwear is now a sophisticated part of a flying machine.
Oh, I sincerely doubt you can fly.
Of course
No,
you do.
underwear can fly.
Ugh.
For sure.
You know what? I can't wait to get back to my real body so that we can get divorced.
Oh,
Get 'em.
me too.
Damn.
The tour.
May?
Oh.
May, what now?
I guess it's time to kill some wasps.
What? Alone?
Don't worry, we've got weapons.
You mean these
close to
homemade
mid.
squirrel DIY drill buzzer top shikey things?
You saw how powerful they are. Let's drill, Baz.
Drill bars. Let's go, baby.
Shoom. Right, I'm gonna.
L2 to aim. I fire little matches. Let's go.
Down we go.
What you're listening to is another one of my latest hazelnut tech creations. You'll find them at Fizzle. The trees that have shiny and drill buzzer gun are pretty, but when combined, they are so hot. Try igniting.
Okay.
Squirrels weren't kidding.
If you make a nice line, I can like blow it over.
May, I think it's a shooting range. Let's try it out.
Oh, we're working together on this one.
Here we
Get the
are.
bomb. Get the targets. Yeah.
Oh, I miss it.
Well done. Now, go give those wasps up to warm welcome.
Hey, I'm gonna kill the squirrel too. Ha.
Get him.
Thought that was a challenge, but it seems like training. Oh, blow this bit. Oh, we can get in
Blow this up, please. Nice.
there. Oh, look at this little bed.
Oh, we can blow these up. Nice.
We just blew up the council of elders, apparently.
Get wrecked, elders. Shouldn't have been so old. Yes. Fisher's piss.
Wow.
This is that asparagus shit.
Impressive.
I'm getting spooked by it.
Oh.
Please turn back.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Those behind you protect against the wind.
No.
Way out is through the wasp's lair over there. On the other side.
This one's ready.
Ha. He. Ha. Ho. Huh. Boom. Oh.
Oh no! Oh Jesus.
Up we go.
Nice. Progress.
Yeah, up we go.
Like, what is this? Now no one can follow us.
Good.
Oh, all the nuts.
Should we see if we can blow the nuts up? Put some butter on the nuts. No, the butternut. No, the butternut squash.
Damn it.
What's
Butternut squash.
what's the max on waffle heists? Your dreams. Or like whatever amount of 9s Streamlabs lets you do. Oh, I was worried that wasn't there for a while.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky to see.
Make a fire bridge? Huh, I don't know how that didn't work.
Oh, hang on. Oops. No, okay, that's not for
Yeah,
that's
I'll wait for you.
Oh, okay. The controls are really nice as well, you know.
Yeah, they are actually, yeah. It's been a really like fun, weird game so far.
Darn, the sap isn't sticking.
Looks like squirrel tack isn't foolproof.
Should be though, right?
Sorry.
You goddamn swine.
Oh wait, what the fuck? What the fuck?
So, I know what to do. Believe it
Yeah.
or not.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey Jimmy! How you doing, buddy?
I believe you. I believe you know what to do.
Whoa! Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna get your fat ass on there. Ah, boy.
I'm through.
Uh-huh. Well, this
And
got
doing splendidly,
interesting.
dude. We're playing, as you can see, we're playing It Takes Two, which has been thoroughly fun so far.
Look at those Tesla coils.
What did that do?
These squirrels seem far
Allowed me
more
to die?
capable than I thought.
I see you've had
Oh, you too.
on my old facilities. There's really nothing to see there, just moving on. Those barbaric wasps would
Do that again?
never understand the potential of people's technology.
Down we
Oh.
go.
Oh. Arigato. Oh.
Oh shit! Oh, I fell a thing about.
Wait. I can't shoot up here.
I got an idea. Don't worry. Don't fall off. No, you got plenty of time. Don't worry about it. It's good. You're good. Don't worry about it. You're good. Don't worry about it. You're fretting over nothing right now, you know.
Woo!
Scared money don't make money. Oh, I missed my jump. Could you do it again, please? Sorry. Scared money could make money. Fear makes a lot of money. Look, ask the church. Send you a picture of your latest work progress in Blender. Fucking A, dude. I'll have a look at a little bit. Just waiting for Bakura to let me get to the top of the mountain. Thank you.
I have to reload.
That's cool.
Giant ass hazel over there. And look at Jimmy shit.
Yeah, that's off. Look. Let me go here quick. Ah, nice. Cute little stream and shit. Or road, sorry. It's a cute little road with like the trees and that.
Oh, it's a
That's
cute
looking
little
dope,
stream.
man. I'm a blind motherfucker. That's looking awesome, dude. Did you do the like material stuff in Blender as well? What way are we going? Oh, probably this way, right?
Oh, and you can just ignore what's behind that wall coming up. Move right along, please. No, no. Put the red
Get me out of here!
Oh, uh-oh.
Well, I can't control my character.
Huh. Yeah, so you're gonna
Game?
need to go to where the buttons are, apparently, but do you turn or not?
Okay,
There you go.
I just tapped out in. That.
Oh, these red buttons look interesting.
Oh, that's electrocution.
Sorry.
Do you want nut?
I am a nut.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
Yep, that's squirrel tech, alright.
Oh, Jesus, fuck. Turn anything into a nut. Jesus. Gil's catching up on the mighty on the cup, on the league. Oh, Jesus, on the cup, sorry, yeah.
Around you go.
That one also killed me.
I felt that one.
okay, so last one is this one.
It's a bit hot. Yeah, that was quite hot.
Maybe I should get you out of there, huh?
Oh, that was an option.
Yeah.
That wasn't very funny.
I know.
Oh, right. I can't zap
I
that.
see you found our nut bomb storage. Of course. We haven't worked out all the...
Stop reading. Murder.
Give the nut a squirrel and then electrocute them.
I thought it said we could destroy that.
No, we can't. This isn't even the way. We gotta ignore this.
She told us to ignore it.
Yeah, that's just good fun.
Huh. This lid doesn't look
Beat you
so
down.
stable.
Get 'em. Do a big circle, buddy. On the red things, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the stuff.
Looks like
yeah.
something was kept.
Land on my ass for safety.
Yeah, something big. Whatever it was, it's gone now.
That's the stuff.
This one's ready.
Interesting.
Cool. Whoop.
Ouch.
Something's coming.
Oh shit.
Get him. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Gotta hide in here. Quadruple kill.
Nice. Easy. All day.
Boxes, boxes.
I wonder if boxes ever helped anybody. Oh!
Whoa!
Right. Can we do that to this?
Okay, so that's... No, it's always... it's just in there. So yeah, you got there, and then I'll shoot you up, I guess.
I believe so, yeah. Oh, but I never... Oh, shit! Let me just... Yep.
Wait, do we both need to go up there?
Brentford beat Arsenal 2-0, that's amazing. Mate, it doesn't hurt for us both to get there. Hang on, stop shooting.
Need more goop in this one.
Fire it up, man.
Fire it up. Fire it up. Now, where am I swinging to?
Hey, May, I think there's a bridge here.
Let's knock it down then.
Yeah, go on then.
Make a nice line around it.
Maybe another surface would work better.
There you go.
From here.
Oh, back in day. Brentford beat Arsenal 2-0 was fucking amazing. Oh, except I had Brentford's did Tony score because I was going to have him on my fantasy team, and then I chose not to. I feel like that might be regrettable now.
Did you fuck up?
Yeah, but only because I thought it was going to be shit. Oh, football.
You can double dash.
That's some type of tug
nice.
of war. Hey, Cody! Over here!
Ready?
Yeah, go.
Ready to fall into the hole?
Yes.
That hole is made for you.
Fits you better.
3, 2, 1, go.
Down the drain, Cody.
Bye bye.
Yeah, you're ridiculous with that shit.
I pulled it off.
No fair. I'm barefoot. Your shoes have better grip.
That's true, see?
Right, do you wanna go again, and I'll just
God,
Racing,
no.
Cody.
I use my thumb.
That's right. I just want you to play up the football.
Huh?
You should play up the football.
I wish it had a continuous score.
Which out of what, sorry?
A continuous score. So each time we do one, it's
yeah.
like 1,
Yeah.
1, 2, 1.
That'd be quite cool, actually, yeah.
Oh man, my legs hurt.
My feet hurt.
When we get out of this mess, I'm having a cold beer.
I'm having two.
What if we're stuck here? You know,
What if we're
stuck
not?
like this?
You don't know that. We'll get to Rose and break the spell.
Yeah, what if we never get to her?
Please stop talking and keep running.
Yeah, let's go.
Speed run.
Let's go, baby. Born, 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 born. Ow.
Oh shit!
Those mine carts.
This tree is incredible. Oh,
Where did these?
are they transporting nuts?
Oh,
Oh fuck.
Oh shit. Oh, I don't need to boost so much.
No. Oh, there's one right behind me.
When are these rails gonna end? No, please end soon.
Oh my goodness. I don't think the boost works too well with the weapon.
What? Oh. I don't know, mine's been doing pretty well. Nut Express. Oh, nice one landing on Waffle Heists. You deserve to win it.
Ah, the
Well
boat.
done, bud.
Spin the handles, Raven, but be on your guard. It's never safe, Once inside, you will be on your own. May the acorn
Oh, pretty. Get him. Please. Oh, get him.
This one's south.
Do the next one. Oh.
Oh, Jesus.
This one looks tougher than the others.
Oh!
Sticking to its shield.
Yo, fuck, man. Ah, I tried using the gun before. Ooh, that was a big one.
Oh, fuck yeah, I came straight back for it.
Did we get it?
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Oh,
Get
sweet.
through that vault.
Perfection.
Oh,
That
shit.
fucking ninjas, man.
Gil and Mighty are battling it at the moment. Oh. That doesn't look nice.
Soldiers, the security system has detected 2 intruders. Why aren't you eliminated?
2, that's more than 1.
We are searching for them, Supreme Wasp Queen. Search harder. Bring them to me. Dead or alive. Yes, Supreme Wasp Queen.
Supreme Boss Queen.
That is one scary queen.
Fuck this place, man.
It's just a squirrel inside
No, I
a
wouldn't put my
robot.
penis in this.
A
That'd be
very
painful.
big robot.
No. Throw it in hell. Throw it in fire.
You know, maybe we should just
Kill it with fire.
That's fine. Yeah, that's cool. Oh.
Are you chickening out?
No.
You're
we were just
chickening out, Fizz.
Exploring the,
I've never chickened out.
premises.
Right.
I think you
I don't think you can physically do that as a human.
No, not at all. We were just scouting.
I'm not a chicken.
Preparing
What the
for
fuck,
the
man?
mission.
No, you're a yeller.
Right. Preparation is key.
Good, but remember, collaboration is also key. This is a very dangerous operation.
Collaboration.
Reminding us.
You're welcome, eh? Hey, got
Gotta
it.
kill him. He's making chicken noises.
No.
I've had those before.
Bye, book.
That book is really annoying.
Kind of enjoy his presence. What's faster,
Yeah, I
the,
like
the dodge roll or the running? Wow. Why make a sprint button?
Yeah. Ah.
Yeah, the fuck
What
away.
now?
They're wasp larvae. Coming out of those nests.
Fuck that noise. Oh, more.
Ew. Acorn casserole.
Too many of them.
Don't stop shooting! I will make it!
Where you at? Oh, there.
Huh? Oh, I'm just adventuring. Trying to save you.
Yeah, sure. Wait, what?
Oh, you gotta go down there.
Oh yeah, sure.
Would I lie to you back? Would I lie to you?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, these guys can't hurt us.
But those can.
Well, nothing getting on it. That's what I want to see. Oh, he's like right here.
There you go!
Oh shit.
Did you just jump off like I am? Oh, I was sprinting. Ah. Whoa!
Hey-oh.
Such
Watch
chaos.
your eye and then we'll end up winning. Yeah, for real. Oh shit. It's just a robot queen.
We don't want to fight.
Whoa.
Who cares, Cody?
Ah, fuck it though.
Equalizing interior
Hey,
pressure.
Mojo baby! How you doing, dude?
Atmosphere.
Oh shit. Thank you very much, man. It's lovely, lovely to hit the big four, you know. That's what everyone dreams of.
Hey, isn't this your camera, May?
You just leave me with this
What?
fucking wasp?
Dangerous weapons of their own.
Oh, yeah.
Not
We're
necessarily.
kicking some butt here, at least. Hey,
I
you're
mean,
good?
Son of a
I mean, you
bitch!
can't prove it.
Thanks, Cody. You too. Keep up the sap.
Ah, so were the squirrels running away from something?
Come back here.
I can't. Probably. I mean, I might be able to, but
Son of a bitch. It's like a fake wall. Fuck.
hey. Oh, now you've gone right before our eyes. I know, right?
All right, there it goes.
Ah. I thought I was
Still
gonna
about
find
music
out and be like,
again.
Toy Story's real.
Quick, into positions!
Now leave it, so. That's it.
Oh wait, we can...
Oh shit, cool.
Nice, an action shot.
Let's say what's
Interesting.
behind there, but okay.
Looks like ancient technology.
The timer's going!
How you doing, Mojo baby?
Oh, have to pose, quick.
I am the bee.
Nice.
Oh,
Well, I'm glad we beat the robot. And these squirrels are quite decorative.
I don't know what happened to that wasp with the big health bar, but okay.
It's gone forever now, don't worry about it. We killed it. It's been a lot of fun so far, man.
oh. I think
Yeah,
they're bringing
real good.
out the big guns now.
That's a swarm, bro.
Like, yeah, oh, Jesus. I would definitely recommend it to people.
Cody.
Oh, do you good on this one, by the way? Then we won't die.
They called me the exterminator.
They really don't.
like that.
How about that?
Stop hitting me.
Leave us alone!
Oh. Incoming.
Oh yeah?
Ow. Reloading. Ooh. Oh, that big.
No, we're doing great.
Get him.
I'm out of fuel. Oh, I had to wait for that to happen.
Oh. Ah, I see. No. Bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow.
Oh, bud. Nice. Oh god.
Uh-oh. Ow. Oh, we can jump those ones.
Ah!
Can't jump those ones.
Oh, can jump on there? Oh, Jesus Christ. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive.
Okay. Oh.
Oh. Don't die. Thank fuck for that. Nice. Hey, and Sneak Kills 555, how you doing there, buddy? So speed run the game of you on PS4 and 5? Maybe. We're playing this on PC ourselves
did
at
it.
the moment. And we defeat the Queen. Ouch.
We're already speedrunning it, don't bother.
It's true.
We're already gonna have the record, so. Yeah.
It's true. It's very true.
Oh, now what?
Don't worry about it.
We need to head that way.
Come on, May. We can't swim in this. Oh.
Could if you just put your mind to it.
We're going by boat.
Huh?
Help me out.
What? By boat? This is a boat? All right, come on.
Pretty strong.
Pretty good boat. Massive compared to them, really.
Oh. Don't we need, like, oars or something?
Natural current.
Oars, Cody. We've got an engine.
We do? Where?
It's in your hand.
What?
Raft gameplay.
Yeah, very funny.
All right.
Right. That's polluting there. I mean,
Alright. It could blow up at any moment. Alright, bud, get on it. Don't get us killed, okay?
I will.
Everything has multiple features.
Hey, now she's got island steak. Beautiful.
You're an engineer. You know about gadgets. Nature's my
That's not really helping us. There are more larvae from up above.
They're all yours, Captain. I'll steer the boat.
Oh, okay, I mean.
Oh, Jesus.
Hold on tight, May.
I'll try and stick to the left if you want to focus on lefties.
Ooh, okay.
Coming in here. To the left, to the left. Yeah. Nice.
Alright. Whoa, that difference weird.
It's gonna be steep.
We're going up there like a salmon, okay?
Against us.
10 mil.
We'll make it through.
Should get 10 mil, yeah, fucking hell. Oh, and I might have lost it all.
Nice. Oh, buddy.
Blow this up, maybe?
What? Oh, yeah, sure.
Careful now, Cody.
Get him. And Gil takes top place.
Aye, cat.
Here we go, buddy.
Do I even need to do this?
I mean, not right now.
We've got some more
Bees.
swarms up ahead.
Yeah? But what are they doing?
I mean, it's very much catching up, that's true. Ooh, it's a bit of an uphill struggle here. Uh-oh.
Nigga.
Oh, you
Gonna need
pissed
some
off
goop
now.
on that.
Oh, Jiminy fuck Christ.
All hands on deck. We've got a storm coming.
Right. Almost got us. Okay.
It's fine. This is all inside a tree, yes. Oh, shit! That's not anyone's fault. Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Fortnite, baby. Boom. Look at that. That's kind of fun.
Alright. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Put him in last minute, he went to replace Rapina. Oh, Brian is on Wilson again. Yeah, that's so nice. There's another thing you only shoot in a second. Oh, Jesus. That's not fair. I'll slow it down so you can shoot the thing. Oh, it's coming back to us. Oh, shit. Shoot the team. Shoot the team, make it go back.
Ah, man, it's right behind the wood. Let's
Into
get
the
out of here.
darkness. Okay.
Wow. They are beautiful.
Yeah.
In a
Deadly
tree.
beauty. Jellyfish can be lethal. We better get moving.
Look,
I need to go in
light.
the water.
Let's go.
Get out of here, buddy.
Just kill them all now with this shit.
Cody,
And
see
jellyfish in a
straight
tree.
ahead.
Have you ever looked inside a tree before, Gil? I think you'd be amazed, mate. Lots of jellyfish in our trees.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the higher you go in a tree. Forgot I could get off it.
Ah, let there be light.
Let's go, jellies. Pops don't hurt.
Oh, they like apple shit. You're on. Oh yeah, I'm on the right. Yeah. Hey, we're both doing extremely well. Well, Cora's doing terrible, but I'm doing great. Oh, look at all this algae.
Beautiful.
Oh, this is cool as fuck.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, hello. Time to go clubbing.
Acorn.
Shit.
Acorn clubbing.
Oh
Okay.
shit, this is trippy as fuck.
Wait, is this
Squirrels
the
know
way
how
to
to get
go?
down.
Cool.
This must be the squirrel's history.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh no, in the house ate squirrels.
Oh no. More nuts.
give them back some of their amber.
Is that supposed to be us?
The chosen child. Wait, hang on, stay here, man, because there was a way back here that...
Why would you choose a child?
What the fuck? I'm just turning around. Okay, never mind.
So you said carry him without you?
Hey?
Ooh. You've got to fill it up first, and I'm nuts. Well, apparently not. I'm nuts.
Numb nuts.
Oh. Oh, what do you mean? It was like a barrier or some shit. Oh, I'm alive?
Oh, ah,
oh, hello. And we can fly. Oh, oh, no, I'm gonna... I thought we could just fly, I didn't realise we were gonna drop down on the next bit.
Oh, okay, I get it. Throws you in the direction you're looking.
Yeah. There are so many mechanics in this game, like... Devs put so much work into it.
Oh no, I didn't make it!
Dumb shit. You're meant to enjoy this beautiful experience, not die.
Don't want to go too far. More.
I went too far.
Oh wow.
What the fuck is happening? I'll wait for you here, buddy.
Wait for me.
In a
I'm
tree.
coming.
Like an absolute tree.
What would you call this?
Fish?
Giant fish.
Exactly.
Fish that can fly?
Looks like
It's clearly swimming.
some kind of catfish.
How does that
It is a
help us
catfish.
now?
This is clearly a tree spirit fish.
Catfish aren't dangerous.
Oh crap, bro.
To eat us.
No. I'm getting a good vibe from this guy.
Goodbye, goodbye,
I
man.
think it's trying to throw us off.
No,
Why would it do that?
It's just swimming. It's what fish do. Just stay on its back.
Oh.
Or its side, I guess.
I fell off because I was in your ears.
Hi, buddy.
If you just squat, you can't fall off.
Not really sure that's true.
It wasn't true.
Yeah. Oh, in the way. Is this his back?
That's more, it's like ribcage.
It's more of them. It's time to hop off.
Go on then.
Boing.
Can't seat drop on it.
Is the plan to swim right through that wall?
Sure. This chick's clearly never swum for a walking ball.
Hmm. Idiot.
This isn't my fault.
Oh no, almighty. Almighty have fallen.
You know, I am getting really tired of falling.
Well, be grateful you're in good shape.
Oh yeah? Thanks, May.
I meant good shape in this world.
Oh.
I see. So you're
The ball's
saying
back
I'm
on
in
the
bad shape
table.
in my real body?
Oh, I didn't say that.
May,
say
I
it.
am made of clay.
Could you run, jump, and fall like this in your real body?
No.
Exactly.
No. No.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah. Okay.
Got a point. Boing, 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 boing. Plunger, dunger. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh.
May, look! Shooting range.
How do we do it? Oh. Thanks, this one.
Shit.
Hey, May, come here.
Hang on. Going round.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Don't let the moving targets reach your side.
No, no, you want the targets to hit your side. It's just me who doesn't want the targets to.
I'm aiming to win.
So am I. Ooh, I'm trigger happy.
Smoking gun. Please.
I know how to handle a plunger.
Wasted plunges. Yes.
Watch and learn.
Oh, fuck, there's too many plungers.
Really?
Nothing to it.
Oh, there's a lot of a lot of targets. No. Oh no. I really let that guy now.
I'm fucking moved. Oh. God damn.
GG, GG.
GG.
Shooting plungers doesn't require precision.
Yeah, idiot.
Up to this fortune. One day we'll be back up there. That's it. One day I might be there.
That
It's
looks
time.
like an
Half 10.
elevator over
I should
there.
probably get onto
Have
the
to
clip
cross
show at
over.
some point.
Yeah. But that's a deep
Yeah, I'm gonna have
pit.
to get off soon and get ready for
Oh yeah,
Jesus Christ.
fight. Oh yeah, shit. I need to do.
Yeah.
I need to do stuff and then potentially get to fight night.
Where are we going? This way?
Enemy.
Okay.
Where are we
Should've followed
going?
me.
Only one way out. Up.
They're back with their crazy saws.
I'm not allowed to shoot.
Nope.
It's fine. I guess it's quite easy. You just don't die.
Yeah. You just do it and you don't die. And you win. Easy.
Alright. Bunch of jabronis, really. Can we die if we go off the edge?
Yep. Hi.
What do you mean? I'm still here.
Get him.
Look, now I'm allowed to shoot the
You
bastards.
see it? Let's clean
Yeah.
up these crackers.
Give me a match here.
I think we're perfectly safe now. Oh! Nice.
Oh, whoa.
What is this place?
I don't know, but
Buttons.
they look pretty angry.
Yeah, they do.
Oh no.
Oh, cute little beetle.
Oh, are you ready for this?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, stupid question.
Where can he die?
Damn! The sap isn't sticking to it.
On the floor.
His shell is too strong.
Yeah. Oh, jump.
I'm putting the yellow things on the floor, by the way.
Oh, okay, I get it. Come over here, buddy. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, I keep dying for whatever reason. Not right into it, I just got here. Oh, double hit, triple hit.
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming over here.
Oh. That's nice. Go. Come on.
Don't die.
Okay.
Except you still ball them. Oh, what a deal hat.
Damn, I missed.
Oh, Mojo lost all his money. No, he's broke. Oh, don't die.
What?
There we go. Tugs of the street for waffles. Well, there you go. At least you'll make some money. Killed their friends.
Wait. Don't kill me.
Oh, you said
I'm
it
just
now.
a beetle. I don't even like beetles.
So why are you on their
Fucking
side?
Ringo.
I'm a mercenary. I fight for anyone who pays me food and shelter.
What food? Huh? Worms? Slugs? Larvae?
No, I'm a vegetarian and gluten-free. I get paid nectar.
Oh, okay. Well,
Benevolent philanthropist
you know,
shall
the
aid
queen,
for lack of
she
waffle.
has all the nectar. So if you help us take her down, you can have as much nectar as you want.
I can.
Yes, you can have it all.
All of it.
Yummy. Oh. What are we waiting for? Come on, jump on.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Nectar.
Cody!
I'm trying!
Hey, Fizzle! Slow down! Cody!
Are you okay?
I can't!
So you're controlling the body?
Yeah.
Oh, down what?
Shoot them! Kill them, eh?
Stop that seat shooting!
Oh, nectar. Yummy.
Reload.
Oh shit.
Is that nectar?
No, definitely not!
Ah.
Can only shoot 3 at a time.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You better not get us killed if you want that nectar!
Boom.
Nectar.
No! Still no! Shoot them! Nice one, May!
Yeah, I did it.
Oh shit, Predator's after us.
What?
Oh, the Predator.
Ooh.
Also, for your own safety, you really should know what the Predator sounds like.
True.
I got this. I believe.
they're dropping their larvae on us as bombs.
Yeah, right? That's bad parenting. Rip Beetle. I thought it was Ringo, it's definitely more of a John Lennon. See you, buddy.
Oh no.
Oh god. No second thought about... Okay, so this definitely wasn't the one we were fighting earlier.
No.
Listen, we know you're not the real queen.
Yeah, you're a robot.
Liars! I'm the supreme
Got Yoshi'd.
No, not Yoshi! Balls. Where are you? Oh, you're flying around.
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun.
Oh. Okay, let me do that. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, they have me somewhat.
Bye.
Oh, I got set on fire a little bit. Watch out, there's fire and
Yeah,
magma.
I went across. Ow.
Oh.
Ow, 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 ow.
You missed. Oh, fucking hell.
Shield, swords, and now this?
At least it's pretty.
Hello. Alright. Ow. I didn't want a high five. There's a hand that killed me in two. What the? Just threw me off the edge. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, when it tries to do that, just try to avoid it.
Okay. I get you.
Oh shit.
Ain't no scissors getting me, boy.
Ain't no
Barn,
scissors
barn,
when she's
barn.
gone. Somebody see through 1924 colorized.
Get the hand, get the hand, get the hand.
The hand that bites. Oh, the hand bit.
There we go. Oh.
Slash is naked. Oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, jump.
Oh shit.
Ah, jump again. And a third time. Okay.
Oh shit, didn't see that. You just need to shoot the chain.
Yeah.
If you can get there with speed, yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
think if you shoot a face, it might do more damage.
It's just a chain you gotta shoot.
A little bit more.
Guy. Fuck you, Queen Bee.
Nectar, bitch. I'm going to fight Squirrel as well.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen. That was a bee. That was a little bee.
Oh, she's actually really furry and sweet.
The bees are cute as fuck.
No! I am the
Oh, look at it.
No. I told you. See? Robot.
It's a stupid bumblebee.
Uh-oh.
Wait! Don't hurt me!
Oh,
Look, it's Nectar. She's kept nectar for us.
I don't even like nectar.
Yes, you know.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Pull it,
Everybody
Bumble.
run.
Oh shit. Surely we're quite heavy for this little bumble.
Cody, shoot the nectar tank. See if this stinks.
Oh shit.
Boom, baby.
Nice shot, dude.
Thanks, man.
Sorry. Fucking wasps.
Die,
Hell
you
yeah.
bastards.
Ooh.
Oh.
Also, that beetle. He's dead, right?
Feels dead, yeah. Gone. He's just fucked.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
He's crying.
I have nothing to live for now. I'm
Get
no
him.
longer a wasp queen. What's the
When
point?
Big Queen Bee done shit.
But you are special. You are one of the noblest pollinators in nature.
Too right.
I am?
Yeah,
For
of
real.
course. Bees pollinate crops
Gosh,
that feed
yeah.
90% of the human population. Without you guys, well, humans would just die.
He's right.
Really? So I am special?
So she's gonna wipe out the bees,
Yeah.
isn't she?
You're a traitor.
The
You
bees are
two,
fine.
Why haven't you killed the traitor?
She helped save us.
Yeah, I'm special.
Yeah, and all the wasps.
Oh, my bad.
Come on, I mean, we don't need to kill her, do we? Huh?
Oh, so you're on the same team now?
Yeah.
Shoot them all.
Oh god. Oh god.
That is some terrible shooting. Squirrels are awful.
Hey, North!
Squirrel troopers.
Good luck.
Safe forever.
Take us with you.
Hey, we just saved your furry ass.
Come on, Cody. Over here.
Dumbass bee.
You
No.
drive.
What? Hey, this is a plane. It's not a station wagon.
Just
No.
Prove it.
fly.
Where's the gas?
Squirrels are known to be Italian and part of the mafia. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Hold your fire. Man the cannon.
Should we end this at the next calm?
Code nine.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Go, go, go.
Before we rush into it. Boom.
You see? Never underestimate my underwear.
Oh, stop raising your pants. Focus on flying.
All right, I'm
Oh.
revving it.
Don't
Yeah, that's
rush
cool.
into anything.
Well, you just help me out and clear the way. Just shoot something. Shoot.
Wow. And
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's
get
your
some.
captain buddy.
Yeah, no kidding. What kind of explosive acorns did
Oh,
Don't worry,
that's the
don't worry.
floor.
No.
Cody, the gates are closing. Pump it.
going as fast as I can?
Oh.
You started saying yeah like you had faith. Oh, buddy.
Why you suck?
I'm great. It was enjoyable to watch you have full save.
Sure.
I've never failed. We're going right.
Okay.
Right.
Cody, the gates are closing. Pump it.
Going as fast as
You hope to escape it. Go!
Oh lordy.
I think that one stopped for us.
No, that's just really good.
Oh.
Pump it.
Blind
Yeah, kill those people, dude.
Alright.
Keep it steady, Cody. Keep it steady.
I'm trying.
Just go straight.
All right.
Yeah, just go straight, buddy.
Just go
Yeah.
faster.
I got him, mate. Don't worry.
I'm maxed out.
All right, well,
Oh.
don't crush the plane.
You're distracting me. Take them down.
You probably shouldn't hit the floor.
Oh, I wasn't.
Hey, see more planes behind us. Sharp shooting, eh?
Thanks, buddy.
He was talking to Overwatch me.
Trouble ahead.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, fuck me.
Ah.
Whoa. Which one? That one? Okay.
No, sure,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I gotta check behind us for planes and shit. So.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll try and be more informative. In front. That's fine. Got some cannons in front and some mines.
Oh.
It's escalating quickly.
Oh lord, oh lord. It's done.
Yeah. What is with that engine?
Oh, I'm
Does that
just
make you go
tapping
faster?
boost. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh no.
Oh.
You nearly died there.
I lost my
imagine?
gun.
Yeah, just fight a squirrel though, it's not that hard. It's a fucking squirrel, dude. Got one eye blind.
Can't wait to kick your furry ass.
Get him.
Now I'm gonna kick its furry ass. Oh, buddy, here we go. Ah.
Hey, how's it going up there?
Cody, stay in the
Ha,
plane.
ha.
Okay, just
Oh, is it? She got fucking like
Flying. I've got this.
Street Fighter
What
Tekken
the
fight bars
shit?
and shit. Damn, dude. You've already lost your flawless.
Is there any, can I do any specials?
Hold back for 3 seconds, then flick forward and circle.
Oh.
That might give you a sonic boom. Hadouken is was it down, right, up, or down, right? So down towards X is a Hadouken.
Oh.
Although you got fucked up.
Drill bass.
You got fucked up, son.
I got drill buzzed.
You got
Damn.
drill that's pretty hardcore.
Alright, let's go, son. Alright.
Stand still, Drill.
Eyes on it.
Don't get blown away this quick.
I wanna do special moves.
And learn them, dude. Study the combos.
Go on, let's.
Careful, you're gonna break the sail. Okay, oh. So what did I just say? What did I just say? See what you did now.
Brick wheel, so.
That was totally you putting into a nosedive. Am I still controlling the plane in the fight? I was, yeah. She'll let me die. Benicio under the boss.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Hey, mate, that fight, that was epic.
Yeah. Thanks, Eddie.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm DeRosa's
Up,
right.
dude, up, pop.
Hard left, hard left, hard left.
Hey.
Ah, gotcha. Like.
You think the squirrels will be mad about the plane?
Well, they shouldn't have stolen from us in the first place.
That's a fair point.
I'll never look at a squirrel the same way again.
Oh,
Easy, easy, mate. It's all good.
nice, nice.
Whoa.
Hey, there's the shed. Oh, and
Let's go, baby.
Rose's roof! The window's open!
Yoo-hoo, here we go.
Here we go. Well, shit. The way the music slows.
Right.
Communication. Indication.
Should we go right?
Sure. Oh my good fuck. That was so much faster than last time.
Hey!
Oh.
Okay, windows open. To the right-ish. That's it, that's it, that's it.
Hey!
Get this, baby.
Oh, top 10 is heating up. 15 million, 10 million, nice.
Mummy.
I'm feeling completely bad. Oh, about to be blanked again by another parent.
Remember him?
Your parents don't love you. They pretend you don't exist.
Oh. Do you have that headache again? Okay. I won't bother you. But when you feel better, maybe we can play with Moon Baboon again.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
And
sure
all
we
the
can.
other space toys you got from me.
The female sounds familiar.
Yeah.
She does. She sounds a bit like the girl from Monkey Dust. I'm coming on for the night. Oh, for the fight. I probably will be. Yeah. I'll be doing my clip show in just a moment after this, and so
I think he wants you two to become
hopefully I
friends.
will.
Just wanted you to know.
Okay, darling. Now go play.
If she
Go
wanted to
play.
listen to you, she'd have recorded you on your birthdays.
Loading. Saving. Saving.
I like how the game bookmarks like certain chapters with just child trauma. It's a bold move.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're too old for Moon Baboon.
No, not Balloon. Baboon.
He's a piece of shit.
Too
He won't
old.
feature her in the story again for sure.
Wow, almost did not like that.
Right?
That is the last time I'm flying by the seat of your pants.
Not necessarily your
You're a
choice.
comedian, you know that? Look, there she is.
Oh, I
Well,
miss
go stab her
her.
with the safety
Do
pin.
you think she's okay?
What do you mean you miss her? She's right
Looks
there.
fine. I mean, she's playing like nothing happened.
Thank goodness. Let's go and talk to her.
Yeah, but we should be careful. We don't want to scare her.
Are
I
you
would.
saying I'm too harsh with her?
Yep.
No, I meant she might get scared when she sees us. I mean, look at us. We've turned into a couple of dolls, remember?
Of course I remember.
She was there.
Are you really ready to talk to Rose?
Why not? She's our
Ba-dum.
daughter.
Well, can you talk to her without fighting each other?
Of course we can.
Rose isn't the problem. He is.
She is.
Wow,
You
guys.
see, I don't think you are ready.
Wait.
Yeah.
Stop us.
I think that he is. And are we gonna let him? No!
Bye.
Oh. Holy Jorts.
Wait.
Cross stitching.
What if we
I
can't
guess.
make Rose cry?
We
punch
have
her,
to,
look.
or we'll be stuck like this forever.
But she hardly ever
Oh.
cries.
Yeah, I know. Look, we'll figure something out. Okay?
Moon Baboon?
Just
You alright there, buddy?
Eat those tears.
Alright.
The bigger, the better.
Okay.
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 Saving. Okay, so shall we call it there? Oh my god, Pillow Town versus Blanket Town.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it there. I'm gonna go run to the loo quick. But thank you very much for joining me today, buddy.
No
I'm
worries,
gonna give you
mates.
a raid after this. So I'll see you then.
Nice one. I'm going to take a very quick break and then get on with the clip show. But yeah, this has been dope. Thanks for inviting me, and I will pay you whatever I need to on this, by the way.